Look at that. Clutch fan. The smoke from you burning out in your execution are barely just cleared now, I feel like.
That was like an hour or two ago, man.
Yeah, While that is the fastest, quickest four-cylinder streetcar on Big Island, and do you think maybe all of Hawaii?
I think on all of Hawaii.
All of Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's a really.
I think.
That's pretty. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about a couple more Toyota Corolla builds.
Yeah.
So this one is interesting. I've never actually seen this sort of setup. How does this work?
This is quite interesting to say the least, you know. We had a buddy that kind of planted the seed for us, Sean Okamura. You know, he kind of thought about this whole setup and kind of made it work. Kind of with the theme of it being really low budget, you know, literally piecing it together. So this right here is a factory block 2TC from the 70s in the Corolla.
So this is a 2TC,
2TC,
which is even before
the 3T.
the 3T,
Yeah, so
which is what you have in your Corolla.
Right.
And is this a factory block from this vehicle?
Yeah, so this is not the factory block of the car, but this is one that is exactly like it, you know.
Got it. Okay. It says it on the VIN too, huh?
Right.
And then so this is a 1.6 liter.
1.6, yes. This setup is basically really low budget. Factory piston, factory rod, factory crank, factory valve train. Other than the valve springs, of course, you upgrade to dual valve springs. Small Norris 328 camshaft.
And then it's running a single Weber.
It's running a single blow-through 45 Weber.
And then this is something
This
that
is
you guys
a
made.
totally homemade plenum. And it's supported by the AEM water mat injection, so it can run on pump gas, but still maintain it as if it would be running on race gas, you know, all the time.
This is so crazy.
Everything homemade from the backyard.
I see that.
Everything is homemade.
So then,
Nothing fancy. Just put it together. Just to get it running. Just to go to the track.
and this is female driven too.
Female driven, yes. My sister-in-law drives this car. My brother built this car and she drives it. So it's kind of like a whole family thing.
What kind of times can she run down?
So the quickest this car went was 10.8 at 124.
That's really fast.
That's really fast, right? And you wouldn't think if you look at the car. Look at the car. It's not like crazy or anything, you know.
Yeah,
it's like a really calm car.
Honestly, in Hawaii, this kind of blends in, huh?
Oh yeah.
It looks cool though.
This is a
Chang's
1977 Toyota Corolla.
1977. Okay, so then,
Mine's a 72, so this is the next gen.
and it still even has the clutch fan.
The clutch fan. Yeah, is that crazy? Nothing.
And stock radiator.
Stock radiator, yes.
But
Boost Lab turbo, 6266, ball bearing, same size as my car, but a Boost Lab.
So then, do you know how much power this makes?
No, we never really got to dyno it. I mean, we have, but when we did, it was with nitrous, and it made close to 400. These stock 2Ts, the fastest we got them to go is 1050 at 125, but that was with nitrous and 42 pounds of boost. So the motor only lasted 2 runs, and the rods came out. You know, so this is a more reliable 25 pounds of boost setup. You know,
I cannot believe how much power you're able to make out of this.
I know.
Even though it's stock, and it just was only meant to make whatever, I don't even know
and
how
this
much,
is
80 horsepower?
This is 80 horsepower, the 2TC.
80 horsepower, which means it potentially could be
4 to 5 times.
50 to the wheels.
Yeah, right,
you know?
right.
So
4 to 5 times more power than it ever had, for sure.
Jeez, this is crazy. So then, what transmission is it running?
This is running the same Celica cast iron 5-speed transmission.
Out of like a 70s?
Yeah, this runs through, I believe, most of the 70s Celica, yeah. They call it the cast iron transmission, the W50 series, yeah.
And then, is this the helmet?
This is the helmet, yeah.
It's a matching, matching the
Yep.
car. I love it. This is so cool. It's just a simple roll bar.
Simple roll bar,
simple
just
hoop.
enough to pass tech, you know?
Yeah. So, do you know how much it costs to build something like
To
this?
be honest, this car right here, I want to say it, and when I'm talking just engine-wise, you know? I don't think he spent more than $3,000, I think, you know, to put everything together. And the majority of the cost is the turbo. Everything else we're basically reusing. Factory pistons, factory rods, factory valves, you know, old valve springs that we had in the last 20 years, you know.
So then you at least did rebuild the motor.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
New piston, new rings and bearings,
Right.
you know, but as far as the internals, we kept it factory.
So then, 3,000 for the engine. How much do you think the chassis costs?
Well, he bought this car for like $1,500, and then he kind of body worked and painted it at home, you know.
All in, potentially it could be about $5,000.
Pretty much. I'll be really honest with you. This car is budget friendly, like 100%, like. And done at home, you know, everything done at home. Roll cage, paint job.
I mean, it's not bad. Like, that is incredible. So then, to make those runs, are they actually, or is your sister-in-law at least running slick?
Yeah, she's running slicks, and she's doing a massive wheelie on the starting line. This car wheelies about 2 to 3 feet high off the ground. Can you believe that?
No way.
Yes.
And then, whose car is this?
This is my brother's car here. He just got done with this build.
You guys are just a Toyota Corolla racing family, huh?
Yeah, for sure. On the Big Island.
Amazing. So this one is not a budget build.
This is not a budget build. This is a max ECU fuel injection 3TC.
How many of these,
Exist here.
like, in terms of like a club?
In its entirety, I want to say, you know, maybe 50 members or so, maybe 50 different cars.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cars that doesn't even come out, you know? Like there's a lot of cars that stay home, or, you know, they're not done with it, or they haven't completed it yet, or, you know.
But then when you guys go to the track, all of you guys go together?
Oh, yes, for sure, yeah. If he's not racing, he's coming to support me, and if I'm not racing, I'm coming to support him, you know? It's always a family thing.
Your brother built everything himself.
Yes,
Pretty much.
100%. Paint, motor. This is a 3TC.
3TC.
Yes, also 7-to-1 pistons, everything from PSI Racing.
This is a pretty similar setup to what you have.
Very
in your
similar,
car.
yes, very similar. So we're hoping and expecting the same results, you know, when it comes time to hit the track. So this car has never really been seen yet by anyone. We was planning on taking it to the car show in Hilo in the next week, and then he's gonna take it to the dyno and get it ready for the races.
Got it.
So
then
can you
what is he?
believe, like, all of these cars, like, as you know, we try to make them really nice, but also we're gonna take them to the races and we're gonna drag race them, you know.
What does he expect to make power-wise on this thing?
I would say about in the same range, 500.
What a nice plate. Wizard.
That's my brother's nickname because everything to do with Toyotas, he knows.
Yeah.
You have a question, you ask him and he knows.
This is so cool.
This one is more unique because it has the carburetor, yeah?
Yeah.
It's very calm, very, like you wouldn't think that this car would run a 10, you know?
Look at that. Clutch fan. So then, do you still have to adjust the jets and stuff on the car?
Definitely, yeah. And then depending on the amount of boost you want to run, you know? You can't run the same jets that you run at 20 pounds that you want to do at 25, you know? It just won't work. Parts will come out.
Yeah, you don't want that.
So this would probably be one of the most important gauges in the car, you know, to monitor our air fuel and checking spark plugs and all of that kind of stuff. It's nothing like an EFI car where you could go back in a data log and look everything, you know. This is really old school. This is the most modern gauge that there is in here, you know.
It really does sound different than your car.
Very different, yeah.
So then how does the rev limiter work on this one? Is it a electronic?
This is a MSD, so it runs off
okay.
MSD. So it has just a basic MSD with a max rev limiter chip in it.
Got it. So that's how it can basically prevent it
You
from...
see how lazy it sounds?
Yeah.
As soon as you let go of the clutch, it's like night and day. It's kind of crazy how it works. I think right now my brother has it set up to be running his 25 pounds of boost. So that's why it probably has a really big jets inside, you know. It's a little harder time to rev.
So what kind of fuel is it running on pump gas?
This is running on pump gas and water methanol. So instead of having basic 92 octane with the water meth, you can bring it up to like 116, yeah. And always have it on demand, yeah. So that is kind of like the cheap method of not having to buy race gas or run race gas, you know.
This is your wife's car,
Yes.
but you built it.
Yes.
And your wife drives it on the track.
Yes.
I've never been in a carbureted turbo car. Is this a pretty common build here on the island?
Some of them like it, some don't.
Right.
Pretty much right now on Toyota wise, only me with a single right now.
This is the most budget-friendly way
Yes, the
to
budget.
build something like
Yeah.
this. Got all the gauges hidden down here.
It's the water mat right here.
Okay. That's how you turn on the water mat.
Yeah.
Then on low boost, how much power do you think this makes?
Yeah, probably like 240, 250.
That's still good considering how much this weighs.
Yeah, it's kind of like a big car compared to the rest.
That lag is crazy.
Yeah.
The buildup is so different.
Yeah, he goes, then he gradually wakes up one time.
That's just how it is because it's carbureted now.
Yes. Before I used to run one eBay turbo before, like $130 turbos before. Then I used to run, I mean, it lasted me like 4 years. But it comes on a little bit earlier, like between 4,000. Now I put a name brand one, so it comes in a little bit later. But it feels about
It makes
the same.
good power, huh?
Yeah, it does.
It sounds crazy. So it revs pretty high, huh?
Yeah, I come out of the hole at 8,500.
85.
Yeah, out of the hole. I shift them like about 75.
1.6 liter. So cool. This thing is awesome. Just sounds so different.
Yeah, really.
And it feels different. The lag is unlike anything I've
Yeah.
ever heard. Somehow it works though.
It works, man.
I love these kind of builds because it's just doing it on a budget, still playing with cars,
Yes.
but still going fast. I'm really surprised how fast this thing can go.
Yeah. For how heavy the car is.
Yeah, because this is full interior, nothing
Full-
stripped out.
Nothing stripped out. Full interior.
Amazing. Very cool. All right. We're going to keep shooting awesome cars here in Hawaii. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to support us directly, go to larrychenprints.com. I print and sign every single one of these. This is the perfect gift, or it's the perfect piece of art for your wall.